listening to the Down the Road Show with JC and Casey.
That was the countdown.
Welcome back.
That was your cue, sir.
You're listening to Down the Road Show with JC.
And I'm Casey.
And we have Mark Christopher Lawrence as our guest in the room with us today.
We are
Welcome
honored.
back.
That stage manager is hilarious. Yeah, potato. Spinach.
Yeah, I was born in Idaho.
Cauliflower.
He knows how to push my buttons right there. I'm a spud.
Throwing vegetables at us, Kyle.
Well, he is a
You
vegan.
wacky
Be
guy.
vegan.
He's not in front of a mic, so he
Crazy.
had to
Yeah.
count down with vegetables.
That's right.
Going back to the Shuck Show real quick, they've had various special guests and guest appearances on the show from time to time
Yeah.
and things. What would be one of your favorite
I know who mine is.
special guests or recurring guests? Like, I believe, Stone Cold Steve Austin's been on the program
Yeah,
before?
Stone Cold Steve Austin was on there.
who
Patrick
else?
Kilpatrick.
Uh-huh.
I mean, those are the guys that I had, scenes with.
Right.
Katrina Law, who was just absolutely stunning.
Mm-hmm.
She was on when we had the Sports Illustrated swimsuit models there,
Oh, really?
and they set us back like 4 hours because they couldn't walk and talk. And I said to Katrina, I said, you could be one of those Sports Illustrated models. She says, but I can walk and talk.
Ooh. Brains and a bod. Outstanding.
But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's always fun when you get to do some of the physical stuff, And with Patrick, once again, the spy world slipped into the buy more, and Big Mike had to knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Stone Cold, same thing. But unbeknownst to him, that they were spies. You know what I mean? Which makes it great. And
Just thought they were bad customers.
Yeah, so clearly that's good stuff. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, personally, okay, I have a question for you, and this is along the same lines right here. Looking at your IMDb last night, you were in Tales from the Hood, which is why you're going back to the Down the Hood show.
It's funny. I watched that part of that the other night.
And you played a prison guard.
Mhm.
In Child's Play 3.
With Rosalind Cash, who was in Omega Man with Charleston Heston.
Nice.
And she and I, when I got my equity card, that's the Actors Theater union card.
Legit.
Right.
I did a play with Rosalind Cash.
Nice.
And
Oh,
so
okay.
she's just a lovely, lovely woman.
Very
Excellent. And you were also in Child's Play 3. You played a cop. Okay? So here's my question for you. Chris Fedek this weekend at Chicago announced at the C2E2 with his fascination with Die Hard. My favorite cameo was Reginald Vell Johnson, who
Mhm.
played the cop in Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he came on as your brother, right?
Cousin.
Or cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin.
Oh, okay.
Cousin.
Yeah.
That's my favorite cameo. What was that whole experience like? That
It was pretty cool. I had met Reggie before. I mean, clearly we look a lot alike. I mean,
Right.
we're the same tribe. I'm better looking.
obviously.
Of course.
Outstanding.
It goes without saying.
Right.
But feel free to say it again.
But I'm better looking than Reggie Val Johnson.
So if he is watching,
So if you're watching Reggie, I'm better looking than you. But we had sort of worked together before. He was there was this director who directed a lot of commercials. And early in my career, I did a lot of commercials, and I worked with the same director probably 8 or 10 times. And he was in town, so we would just hang out. So he hired me to just kind of hang out, and as he was shooting a commercial with Reggie, so he hired me to be Reggie's stand-in. And literally, it was one shot, so it's like I got paid for the day to come in and stand in so they could set the camera first thing in the morning, and that was it. So then I'm just hanging out eating all day, and
that's
I
always
want
good.
that job.
so
sounds
Reggie,
good.
so Reggie comes in, and he sees me, and he starts getting nervous.
I thought they replaced him.
I thought that they brought me in just in case. And he was
Just
like,
in case.
and he actually at one point said, "Why are you here?"
In a nervous voice. His eyes getting all big.
It was really
Little crack in the voice.
It was really funny, but it was just like I think had I walked in and I was in his shoes, I would have thought the same
You're
thing.
like,
Right.
of course.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
What's
it's
going
like,
on?
hey.
I gotta call my agent. Get her on
Yeah, but
speed
he's
dial.
really a lovely human being, just a great guy.
Cool. Excellent.
I have an interesting story. You did a guest spot on Terminator II Judgment Day, and there's a story with James Cameron who saw you do a theatrical type of play or something.
That's not quite true. What happened in that is I have no idea if James ever saw me do a play, and I'm pretty sure he didn't.
I'm pretty sure.
I auditioned for Terminator 2, and they were really secretive about it, because of the special effects. I mean, it changed the way Hollywood makes movies now.
Right.
Yeah. iconic.
So they wouldn't let the script out. So what I did was I went down to the place where they were auditioning, the casting house, to read the script. And you had to sit there and read it. So I sat there and read the script, and then read the material, and then I came back the next day to do the audition. And a couple months go by, I didn't hear anything. Right. And then finally one day my phone rings, and it's the wardrobe person saying, "Hey, we need to get you in for a costume fitting." And I hadn't had an audition in about a month at that point. And I was like,
person is just calling you.
I was just out of the blue. I get this wardrobe person call me. I was like, "Yeah, you're from where?" I thought it was like one of my friends messing with me.
Right. So there's not an eyeball involved in this, is there?
And so I said, okay. So we set up me going in for a fitting. I called my agent and said, "Hey, I just got a call from this wardrobe person from this movie, Terminator 2. Really? Even they didn't even know. They hadn't even called my agents yet.
Wow.
And
that's top secret right there.
Which happened.
Yeah.
And so literally when the deal was worked out, it's like I was supposed to work 2 days. They would hire me for a week just in case it went into 3. And first day on the set, I had literally 2 scripted lines. And James says to me, "Well, what would you do right here? What would you say?" And I said something, and he goes, "Yeah, keep that."
Nice.
And it grew into me working 6 weeks.
Outstanding.
Excellent.
Very
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very
Excellent.
cool.
And what's that like to? I mean, it's James Cameron. I mean, and that's just such an iconic film. What's it like to be a part of that? I mean,
Oh, it's awesome. It's like because I understand that technology. I understood it at the time of how groundbreaking it was because Michael Jackson had done it in a video,
Right.
and the black and white video.
Right.
I'm black, I'm white, come on. And when Michael did it, it was $10,000 a second.
Oh, what is that? The morphing of the
The
Panther
morphing.
thing?
well, he
Yes.
could afford it back then. Yeah.
And
Right.
so
All the faces.
and so when the movie came out, it was just so amazing that I was so proud to be a part of that. Now, little side story, when you watch the Rodney King beating, you can see these big lights in the background.
Okay.
And those were the Terminator 2 lights that illuminated the beating.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Okay, that's one I
An
honestly
exclusive
never
right here
heard
on
of
DTR
before.
show,
Ever.
people.
Next time,
Wow.
So
Next-
now you got Rodney King asking for
He should
for
be getting
money.
some kickbacks.
I want
from
some,
course.
I
I'm
want
telling
some
you,
residual
the
credits.
next time if you go on and look for that beating,
I'm sure it's on
you'll
YouTube.
see some big lights in the back, way in the background, and it's the set of Terminator 2.
My
Wow,
goodness.
that is an
Wow.
interesting side note.
That's intense.
That's pretty cool.
See? You get
All
it,
right,
you get it
speaking
right
of-
here. You get it first.
Yep, that's right. All right. Speaking of intense, let's talk about Halloween 2, working with Rob Zombie.
Oh, yeah.
Zombie was great. Here's the story with working with Rob was I worked on his first Halloween movie.
Oh,
and got cut out. And he actually called me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know it wasn't your performance. I had to cut you out.
That's so cool.
We're trying to get the movie down to 90 minutes, and this didn't necessarily move the story, so that's why we took that scene out. But it's actually on the DVD.
Okay.
The scene is
cool.
on the DVD, and I didn't get killed. Woo! Brother in a horror film, not dead.
Getting killed.
Hey,
Mike
look,
Myers
I've only been on
dodged
film,
that bullet.
Other than my own filming, I've been on film twice, and I died in both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, arrows and things like that.
I was in a
remember
Child's
seeing
Play
it.
movie.
Yeah.
Didn't die.
Didn't die.
So
Wow.
Rob wanted me in the next one. He was like, I want to get you in this next one. So we're gonna find something for you. And sure enough, he made good on it. And I was shooting my second DVD up in Napa, California.
Comedy DVD.
Comedy DVD,
Right.
Shout the Second Coming. And I get a phone call. The dates had moved for H2 like 3 times. So it's like, I'm wondering what's going on. So I get a phone call. Okay, we're gonna fly you tomorrow. I was like, well, you're gonna fly me Monday, because it's like Saturday, the day of my show, in Napa. And it's like, Sunday, I'm not getting on a plane to go to Atlanta. So you can fly me Monday. So I fly in, and I get there, and Rob says, look, here's what happened. We started shooting, and the budget got cut by $2 million, which cut the script by 2 weeks, cut our shooting schedule by 2 weeks. We had to rewrite the script to make it work. Your part was written out, but I want you in the movie, so that's why you're here. Right now, I don't know where I'm putting you, but I'm putting you somewhere.
And he made you Deputy Fred King.
Yeah, and he made me Deputy Fred King, and the first night I started shooting, I should have been in and out in 3 days, and it snowed at about 3 a.m. It started snowing. It's like I'm standing there, I'm like, what is that? I look up, it's like,
This is Atlanta.
hey,
Like, what is this?
It snows in Atlanta.
This is Atlanta.
but it was April.
That's a late snow. For
It
That's
Atlanta.
snowed
different.
at
That's
like
what I was
3
saying.
in
It's
the
like, that's a
morning.
late snow. It's like
And
very
then,
humid snow.
so they had to start going to cover sets. And
Oh.
so I sat around for 3 weeks
Getting paid the whole time. Hopefully.
getting paid. and
What can be better?
We've already discussed
I mean,
that.
it was great. And I mean, it's like I watched Rob stuff before the first movie just because, I didn't know who he was. And I wanted to see what it was. And I was like, ooh, he's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he is. I love
Yeah.
House
But
of
he
a
is
Thousand Corpses.
such a great guy.
Yeah.
Such a great
He's
guy.
very artistic. He's got
Love
a great
working
artistic
with
And
eye.
he's like really like I hear down to earth and very nice. Very genuine.
Very down to earth, very nice. And like in the first one, in the scene, he had some lines written. He said, "Look, just say this stuff." He says, "But I hired you because you were funny, and I like the way you talk. So just keep talking."
Nice.
And so I just kept talking. At the end of every take, I would just keep talking. I'd rattle on ad nauseum about whatever.
Mhm.
And he'd come back after he'd be over taking notes. He'd come back after each take and go, okay, make sure you hit this again. Make sure you hit that again. I love the stuff about the donuts. Keep that in,
Mhm.
and
So he's got a sense of humor.
he's got a great sense of humor. And
cool.
so by the end of it, we had cut together this great little monologue while this other guy is off getting killed.
Nice.
We'll just clean that up later.
Well, okay.
Well,
You're
Get the
you're
mops.
also we asked off the show if you're a musician, you say you sing. Did you get to do any jamming with Rob Zombie?
I did not get to do any jamming with Rob Zombie, but he told me a great story about Jada Pinkett Smith, who
Oh.
has
Will Smith's wife.
Yummy.
yeah, she's a beautiful
Talented.
girl.
That's what I
Beautiful
said.
girl.
Yeah.
She's
Is that
got
what I
she's
said?
got
Yeah,
some
that's
talent and
what you mean.
analytical skills.
Yes.
But she
Talent's
has
the word.
a metal group,
Really?
and she was
not know that.
opening for Rob. He was on
Holy
tour, and she was
crap.
opening for him. And I said, Jada metal? He's like, yeah. He said, and it's so funny because she comes to the theater, wherever we're playing, to the venue, and she's like, this little lady with her kids, and then she goes out on stage.
Wow.
Oh my
I need to see
Totally the
that.
opposite.
Wow. If you know that's
Yeah.
happening in town, we gotta go.
Yeah.
See
We are
that
all going to
together.
So apparently it's
Wow.
a great act,
That'll be
to
fun.
sing. Yeah.
Holy crap!
Wow.
You didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Who knew?
Heard that here, folks. Wow. Okay.
I got a question. I also heard
Good on
that
you, Jada.
you love to cook.
I do.
Yeah, he told you that.
Well, it
You
mostly
did hear that.
stems from my love of eating. I think
Trying to make it more
that's what the problem is. I love to eat, so I cook because of it.
And for those of you
Yeah,
who
but
are
we
fans,
don't love to eat.
for those of you who
You
are
can
fans
tell.
of Down the Road Show and have listened to our past podcasts, which aren't up yet, so you'll be hearing it after this show probably. You'll know my fixation with bacon, and I found out tonight that
Our.
our
Our.
fixation
Yeah.
with bacon. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it turns out Mark has the same fascination
I'm
with
telling you,
all
man.
things bacon.
Bacon is good with everything.
Everything. My sister just picked up
I
some
like-
bacon flavored salt.
I
this
like
weekend.
bacon wrapped bacon. That's how much I like
Bacon wrapped
Bacon
bacon.
wrapped bacon. Exactly.
That's actually a good
two-tone
idea.
bacon.
I'm trying to invent a brand new bacon wrap. It's a bacon wrapped corn dog. So
Mm.
meat on a stick with cornmeal, deep fried, wrap it in bacon, then re-deep fry it. Come on, tell me that doesn't sound like the best thing on the
My
planet.
blood pressure's going up just listening to this.
It-
Wow.
No, says the
And
vegan.
Kyle off camera is like, no.
Well,
Some of us are down the road show do not condone this, aka Kyle.
well, this past episode, there was
okay.
a pig on the show,
Right.
and
Mondays. Yeah, I
and
was
his
going to
name
talk.
was-
I was going to talk about Mondays
His name
in the
was-
next segment. Yes.
his name was Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
I'll save the story for that segment.
Kevin Bacon. Segment.
I was dying because I was reading the East Coast Twitters about Chuck and just waiting for it to come on, and everyone's talking about Kevin Bacon. I'm like, oh my gosh, they got Kevin Bacon to come on Chuck. How cool is that? I wonder what kind of spy he's going to play, or is he going to be like a general, or what? This is going to be fun.
Espionage.
And then it turns out to be a pig named Kevin Bacon. I was at home rolling. I was dying.
That's even funnier to
And
me.
it's pretty much the cutest pig on the planet too.
There you
It's
go.
it's a pretty cute pig.
Yeah, made me hungry still, but it was a
Pretty
cute
good
pig.
But it's hard for me to look at pigs that way and cute kind of way.
You just see a big slab of bacon.
I got a smoker.
Yeah, but it had a
And he's not afraid to use it.
I look at a cute little pig and I see a meal.
There you go.
I was thinking, do I want to glaze it or do I
stick a pineapple in its mouth? Something.
apple?
Well, I asked you that question because I imagine you ever seen The Iron Chef ever?
Yeah.
America's Iron Chef?
Yes.
If you had an opportunity to be on the show, who'd you go against, and what would your secret ingredient be besides bacon?
Great question.
Good question.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Secret ingredient.
I think if I went on the show, I think I would go against Bobby Flay.
Wow.
Because
you're going for the
he's
big
a
guns.
bacon lover as well.
Well, not necessarily because he's a bacon lover, because he on that throwdown show that he has,
Yeah.
he gets his butt kicked
always
all the
loses.
time.
He always loses.
So I figured I could take
You got
him.
a shot. You got a chance up here.
Right.
You know, bring out that
That's a
secret
chance.
ingredient.
I think the time frame would get me though, because I'm so meticulous, and so I would need like really good sous chef and really good supporting
that kitchen
chefs
has
with
amazing
me.
sous chefs.
Because I'm very particular about
That's
the
the
way I like
thing
things
too.
to be.
It's those time crunches that always make me nervous.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm the same way. It's
Right.
like I need my time to make it. Just so and yeah. The time crunches
I
would
think the
kill
time
me.
crunch on that show would actually help me stop burning all my food. Speaking of time crunches, we got to go to commercial break.
Oh, we're going. Okay.
Let's go.
This is Down the Road Show, JC.
And Casey.
We will be back.
Color anymore. I look at people and everybody seems to be the same shade.
You sure it's not the glasses?
I'm just a human being.
You are just like me.
I'm just a human.
I am just like you.
I'm just a human.
We all stand on something deep.
I'm just a human. Just a human being.
You are just like me.
I'm just a human.
I am just like you.
I'm just a human.
We all stand on something deep.
I'm just a human. Just a human being. When I do is my shit not brown? It's a universal thing. We all flush it down. When you wipe, do you look at the tissue? Most folks do. It ain't even an issue. Hot stuff makes it burn coming out. I bet everyone knows what I'm talking about. Cause we're all one race on this planet. We all burp and fart, and that's the way God planned it. So don't act like you're superior. Eat something bad, and just like me, you'll get diarrhea. Cause black, white, yellow, red, brown, or gold, our shit all comes from the same little hole.